Hello, hello. Today we are going to make cinnamon rolls, and these will be some of the best cinnamon rolls ever. They're so good. Start off by using my regular dinner roll recipe. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of active dry yeast in there, and then I am going to put 2.5 cups of warm water. It just feels warm. It's not hot, but just don't have it so scalding hot that when you put it in here, it is going to kill that yeast. You want to keep that yeast live and active. From here, I just start pouring in the ingredients. I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of salt, and then I'm going to add in a half a cup of the sugar. I've got an egg. It's straight from the fridge. It is cold. I'm going to add in that egg, and then I'm going to add in a stick of butter. It's a half cup of butter. It's softened but not melted. It can be melted, doesn't matter, but I'm just adding that in. Your yeast at this point should be foaming a little bit. Now I'm going to add in the 7 cups of flour. I always count out loud because I always mess up the count. I'm going to put on the lid to the mixer because that dough likes to fly out. And then I'm going to let this go for 10 minutes. So I'm going to set the timer and then we'll come back to you in about 10 minutes. Okay, so the dough has been mixing for 10 minutes. Now I'm going to take a little bit of oil, probably a little less than a quarter of a cup, just a couple tablespoons, and I am going to roll it around in the bowl. And now I'm going to take that kneaded dough from the mixer bowl and I'm going to just plop it into that oiled bowl. And then I'm just going to take that dough and I'm going to flip it over. And that way that whole upper side is completely coated in the oil. And then I'm going to cover the bowl with a towel, walk away. All right, we are ready to make these cinnamon rolls. So you can see that it's kind of domed up right here a little bit. And so I'm going to take that towel off. It's about doubled in size, which is where we want it to be. So just sprinkle a little flour on that. I am going to put it into these foil pans because I plan on giving away one of these and then keeping the other one. Got to make up that cinnamon sugar. I've got 2 cups of sugar in here. I'm going to get about a quarter cup of the cinnamon in there. Almost got this mixed up. This beautiful dough has risen, doubled in size, and it's got the coating of the oil. So we want to just basically take this and roll it out. I've got a little bit of flour to sprinkle just to keep stuff from sticking. Because it's got that oil on it, it's really not going to stick much. I'm going to take the rolling pin, and what I want to do here is just get it into that rectangle, just trying to be careful to make sure the dough is the same thickness throughout. And if it's not completely rectangular, that's okay. It's pretty close to being melted. It's just 2 cubes of butter, 2 sticks of butter, or a cup of butter. And we're just going to pour it all over. And then we're just gonna try to spread this out as evenly as we can without going over the edge, but getting super close to the edge because we want as much of this buttery flavor in there as we can get. I like the cinnamon sugar mixture. My mom, when she makes it, she likes to use brown sugar. I think both are great. All right, we got all of the cinnamon sugar all over that as evenly as possible. You can kind of move it around. If it's not, we're gonna roll it and it's gonna be fine. So when I roll it, I am just going to just kind of do like a stretch and pull like that. And kind of see how I'm just slightly tugging on it, but not enough that it's going to tear holes in this. You don't want holes in any of that dough. It's got quite a bit of the elastic in the dough, so it shouldn't be such a problem. But I'm trying to make sure that as it goes out, that I stretch the dough to where it still forms like a rectangle, because see how I didn't quite get wide enough out there? Not a big deal. I just want to just kind of be conscientious as I'm rolling that up, because what I want in the end is all of this to be completely uniform. So like I don't want it thicker in the middle than it is on the edges. And that way when I cut this up, it is going to, all those cinnamon rolls are going to be the exact same thickness, or pretty dang close. I'm stretching that over, but see how it's really thin right here and it's thick here? I'm going to kind of step it this way. That way I can work with it a lot easier. But I want to just kind of make it, I'm going to bring this in a little bit and see how by bringing it in, and this dough is very flexible, but see how I can make it to where now it is as thick here and here as it is in the middle, which is going to give nice uniform cinnamon rolls. I like to start in the middle, and I'm just kind of eyeballing it, and I'm going to cut the thickness Yeah, it's about 1.5 inches right there. Let me show this to you. And see how many folds there are in that? Yeah, that's really good. And then I'll just start cutting to the edge. Hopefully all of this one will fill up one pan, that one. But then again, if I didn't cut it exactly uniform, not a big deal. But if you have some that are thinner than the others, like this one, as much as I tried to get it the same, out here is going to be probably a little thinner. I'm going to put those in the middle because the middle ones have a harder time cooking than the outer ones, simply because the inside ones are not touching the outside where all the heat is at. All right, another thing is I really tuck cinnamon rolls in there kind of tight, and I'll do a close-up in just a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and start on the other pan, even if, move that over so you can see it, even if I could probably fit more in there, because I do like to tuck them up in there because I like super soft cinnamon rolls that are going to rise up instead of out, because I don't want the crispy, I want soft. I'm definitely going to get a little bit more. So out of what's left, I want to get 3 more. See, this one here is a little bit smaller, and so I'm going to tuck that one in the middle. And then I've got this one right here. See how it's just a little bit smaller? So I'm going to kind of rearrange the larger ones like this. All right, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see how we've got 12 in that one. This one has a little bit more space. It's still going to fill it out as it rises. So this is just heavy cream, and I'm going to take 1/4 cup and just evenly pour it over those, because what this is going to do is make a nice, softer, caramely kind of bottom. So this milk, or this heavy whipping cream, just really makes these moist, like at such a next level. I'm going to cover it up, and I'm going to let these rise again for about half hour, closer to 45 minutes, and then we'll come back and bake them. So we'll see you back in about 45 minutes. All right, let's take a look at these. Oh yeah, they are ready. So we're going to take these and we're just going to put them in the oven for about 25 minutes. It's a 350-degree oven. These rose beautifully. All right, so we'll see you back in about 25 minutes. All right, it's been 25 minutes. I think those are about done, so let's take them out. Oh yeah, they are a nice golden brown. There's a little bit of brown right here on the middle pieces, which is what we want. That ensures that the middle ones are even done. See how there's some brown right there? That's exactly what we want. So now that I've taken those out, I am going to make the frosting that we're going to put on. That's going to give these enough time to cool so it doesn't just completely melt and disappear into them. Let's get started with the frosting. So what I'm going to do is start by putting a block of cream cheese. I've got some butter in there, and I'm going to cream these together. Here we go. So because that was softened, it was really easy to blend. I'm just going to make sure nothing has stuck to the sides. Then I'm going to add in 2 cups of powdered sugar to this. I'm going to put the lid on this so it doesn't spray out. So then we turn it on. And pour in just a little, probably about 2 tablespoons worth is about all it's going to need. What we are after is light, fluffy icing. So right now the frosting, because of the vanilla that I put in there, it's kind of a little bit of a brown tannish color, and I don't really want it to be that color. But the thing about icing is if you keep blending it up, that color goes away and it turns to white. See, that is no longer that darker, or that, you know, that kind of that tan color anymore. It is turning white, which, by the way, I love this mixer. It's the Bosch Universal, and this thing is awesome. It whips stuff up so fast, like so fast, and it just makes, I feel like, everything easier. So I've got that in there. I still have more icing in there, but notice how it's not that tan color. And then I am just going to trim off the edge right there, and then I'm going to zigzag it. Oh, these look so good. I can see like how it's got that little caramely bit, but there we go. Beautiful. Oh, I love how these cinnamon rolls taste. And what I'm more excited about is to cut into them and take a bite. Oh, these look so good. Oh my gosh, so good. So good. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but just how gooey. Look at that. But like, check out that spatula. You can just see the gooiness of it. But here we go. Look at this. I'm gonna take the first bite. Hopefully it's not too hot. Oh, this is so good. Mmm, these are delicious. Mmm. You got to give it a try. Hopefully my step-by-step instructions helped you feel like you can do this, because you really can do this. It's that good and it's worth it.